Imagine walking into a market where absolutely everything, food, clothing, and hardware, is piled together in one giant, confusing heap. You'd have no way to find what you need, let alone understand what's for sale. But real markets aren't chaotic. They're divided into clear sections. You can see how these vendors have sorted their items into distinct stacks, making the entire space easy to navigate. Vendors do this because grouping items with shared traits makes them easier to find and price. It turns a massive volume of goods into something manageable. Biologists deal with this same challenge every day. There are millions of different living things on Earth, and without a way to sort them, studying life would be impossible. Just like a vendor organizing a stall, biologists use classification to group organisms based on their shared features. This is the foundation of taxonomy, the system we use to identify and name every living thing, so we can study our world with total clarity. To make sense of so much variety, biologists use a hierarchy of groups, often called taxa, that act like a map, leading from the biggest departments down to the most specific stalls. We organize groups into 7 levels. We start with the kingdom, moving down through phylum, class, order, family, and genus, to the bottom, species. To remember the order, use this memory hook. Kampala people can order fried grasshoppers secretly. That final level, the species, is the most specific. It's a group of organisms so similar they can breed together to produce fertile offspring, just like we do as humans. This hierarchy provides a universal address for every living thing. It ensures that a scientist in Uganda and a scientist in Japan can both look at the same organism and know exactly what it is. At the very top of this system are the 5 kingdoms. Think of these as the main departments for all true living things on our planet. 2 of these are mostly microscopic, Monera, which includes the bacteria we use to make yogurt, and Protoctista, which contains water dwellers like the organism that causes malaria. Kingdom fungi is unique. These organisms, like mushrooms and yeast, can't make their own food. Instead, they absorb nutrients from decaying matter. In Kingdom plantae, we look at structural differences to sort things further. Monocots, like maize, have a single seed leaf and parallel veins, while dicots, like beans, have 2 seed leaves and a network of branching veins. Finally, Kingdom Animalia is broadly split into invertebrates, which have no backbone, and vertebrates, which do. We group these vertebrates into 5 classes based on their body coverings: fish with scales, amphibians with moist skin, reptiles with dry scales, birds with feathers, and mammals with hair or fur. The crested crane is a clear member of the aves class, defined by its feathers and wings. These Ankole cattle belong to the Mammalia class because they have hair and produce milk for their young. By looking at these fundamental structures, we can see how every living thing fits into one of these 5 major groups. But there are entities that don't fit neatly into these departments. Viruses exist right on the edge of the living world. They lack the traits we usually look for in living things. They have no cells, they don't eat, and they don't breathe on their own. However, they do possess genetic material. To reproduce, they must invade a living host, hijacking its cells to churn out copies of the virus. This hijacking process is what allows viruses to cause major diseases in people, such as COVID-19, Ebola, and HIV. They also target our food supply. The cassava mosaic virus can destroy the leaves of a crop, threatening the livelihoods of farmers. Because viruses aren't fully living, they are a unique biological challenge. They can't be treated with the same chemicals we use for bacteria or pests, which makes them much harder to control. With millions of species and even rule-breaking viruses out there, you might wonder how we actually find an organism's specific place in this system. We use a dichotomous key. The name comes from di, meaning 2, because the tool works like a path that constantly splits into 2 choices based on physical features. Starting with an unknown animal, we ask, does it have feathers? If we answer no, the key directs us to the next choice. The next question asks, does it have fins? By answering yes, we follow the path to our final result, a tilapia. We can confirm our findings by checking the physical traits of the actual fish against the result of the key. This same logic is what allows a farmer to identify a specific pest, or a doctor to identify the exact germ making a patient sick. Ultimately, classification provides the language we use to navigate the natural world. It's the system that allows us to find order in nature's complexity, helping us protect our food crops, treat our human illnesses, and understand our true place on a diverse planet.